Malaysia juga menghadapi cabaran yang agak getir. Kadar pengangguran di Malaysia adalah di paras 3.9%.
So, isu yang tak settle-settle di Malaysia lagi adalah pengangguran.
Pengangguran meningkat kepada 5.0% pada bulan April 2020.
Mustahil ke kalau kita nak lahirkan usahawan sebenar melalui pendidikan tinggi?
Kalau kita tengok artikel tentang situasi di Malaysia, ada 200,000 graduan yang tak ada kerja.
Disebabkan teknologi yang berubah, perubahan ekonomi, perubahan pemikiran generasi baru, education yang dulu tu mungkin tidak lagi bersesuaian.
Dan mengikut anjuran Jabatan Perangkaan Malaysia pada 14 Mei 2020, kadar pengangguran dijangka akan meningkat.
Marriage, perkahwinan antara traditional learning and kemahiran. Welcome to the revolution.
Hello, good morning everyone. So good to see you all. Magnificent Monday everyone. So we are going to start the week of Hari Raya. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about fueling your body. Alright, so the thing here is, to be successful entrepreneurs, you need to be able to manage the vehicle that actually helps you think and deliver your results as well, right? Last week we talked about anxiety. Anxiety is something that is more mental. Let's talk about something more physical today. As the time of the year has come where a lot of us are going to, well, we can't visit people this year because due to the MCO lockdown, and please don't post it on social media if you ever do visit people. But we have a tendency, and it's very natural in all cultures, especially Malaysians, for us to want to eat, or it's a time for celebration. So today I'm going to talk about what food not to eat, what food not to eat, and how much food you should consume, and how do we manage our own body, right? I'm not a guy who believes in dieting. I'm a guy who believes in choosing the right food and making it the lifestyle that you're in, right? And I'm, for one, totally Malaysian. If possible, I can eat nasi lemak every single morning. I like my rendangs, I love my curries. So I'll start with nasi lemak, lunchtime will be banana leaf rice, and with a nice sumptuous Chinese meal in the evening. So very muhiba in that sense. But what we don't realize is that whatever that we are eating, all right, actually causes our body to react in a certain way. Okay, so the thing is, why we want to manage what we eat, the first thing is, of course, you want to look good. All right, that's most everyone wants. We don't want to look fat. We want to be healthy. But it's basically, for me, eating wisely or choosing the food that you eat generally determines whether you're going to have aches and pains when you start to grow older. All right, because if you do not know how to take care of this vehicle of yours that helps you deliver the results, you are going to end up abusing your body. And when you're younger, way younger, I see young people, when they eat, they can just go on eating and eating and eating. But do you really need that amount of calories? And so we're going to talk about a bit of food. All right, tomorrow we're going to talk about exercises, which you can YouTube it. But the thing is, the simple ones that will get you through the day. This week we only go 2 days, so today is part 1, tomorrow is part 2. Hey, morning Zati, how are you? All right, I'll get up for the Raya. So at the end of the day, we are talking about how much calories do you need. All right, that's one thing that you need to know. So I always suggest, I'm not selling watches or whatever, but if you can get something that has a calorie counter for you, would be great. You see, a lot of people come to me and say, Adrian, I want to lose weight. And normal first question I ask them, do you really want to lose weight? Or is it that you want to be healthy? Losing weight doesn't equal losing body fats. You all know that, right? See, a lot of people, first thing is that they like to go on the weighing scale. And when you go into the weighing scale and it's, hey, I lost weight. But did you really lose weight? Or is it just because of the water that's in your system that has been perspired? So it's like there are some slimming sanctuaries. It's the slimming centers that I know of, all right? That they go in and they say, we guarantee that you lose weight after you finish. So when you go into these slimming centers, what they do is they wrap you around and they put you through these machines. You'll be perspiring so much, and then by the time you finish, they put you on the weighing scale. See, you lost 2 kilos. So people say, wow, that works. But it's really, in actual fact, it could be just water, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm not a health guy. Not a expert, but I'm just giving you the tips of whatever you're eating every single day and how much movements do we need. On the average, study shows that we need to have at least 5 hours of workout a week, so you can space it out whatever days that you want. And also, there are things that you should eat, what you should not eat before and after your workout as well. So on the average, okay, just let's talk about calories now. On the average, we are talking about a man will need about 2,100 calories and a lady would normally have 1,600 calories. So do you know how many calories are you consuming on every single plate? And I've got some very sad statistics here in terms of what is the normal calories, right? A plain nasi lemak, our Malaysian staple diet, it's 450 calories. A roti chana and dal is 360 calories. One mee goreng is 600 calories. Nasi campur is about 600 calories. Char kway teow, one of my favorite, is 750 calories. Wonton mee is about 400 calories. Murtabak chicken, it's almost 1,000 calories. And on average, teh tarik, it's about 100 calories. So if you're going to add those meals up, can you imagine if you start the day in the morning having a nasi lemak that's 450 calories. Add 1 teh tarik, that's 550 calories. By lunchtime, you will have, let's say, nasi campur, 600 calories. So that's already how much? 1,150 calories. And then you have a teh tarik, so 1,200 calories. And then you have dinner, you have murtabak chicken, you have gone way past the normal calorie intake. And it's sad, isn't it? Because ultimately, if you love food, person like me, you know, there's some people who eat to live, and some people live to eat. I'm the live to eat kind of a guy, right? So what I'm doing right now is to compensate it by choosing the right amount of food as well. The main thing here is that as we are going along the way, having our Hari Rayas coming up, always remember this rule of thumb. If you can get this rule of thumb right, you should be quite safe. In every single amount of meat that you're eating, always remember that you must have 4 portions of vegetables. I repeat, 1 portion of meat, 4 portions of vegetables. And that's the biggest problem that people are facing, because most of the time, if you look at any Malaysian family, if you go in, Chinese, Indian, Malay, most of the times, I always see more meat than vegetables. Like a Chinese meal, right? In a restaurant, if you go and peep over what people eat there, they will always have fish, they have a chicken, they have a meat, they have a seafood. All right? And they will have 1 vegetable. So they have actually 4 different type of different meat and only 1 vegetables. That means the ratio has automatically gone wrong, because you need the amount of fiber to get rid of the acid that is in those meat. All right, you need to get it. So the only way you can do it is to reverse it. And also remember, choose your rice wisely. I'm an advocate of quinoas. I normally only eat brown rice during the day, and at night I take quinoa, and sometimes I do mix a little bit of rice. But generally, it would help because it brings your whole entire blood sugar level down. And when you have got lower sugar in your system, that's when you have got lesser acid in your system, and therefore you feel more energetic. If you don't believe me, try this every single day. Start your day with maybe a fiber drink first before you talk about having a nasi lemak or everything. I still do it. All right, I still do it. So start with a fiber drink and then have nasi lemak if you may want it. Coffee. I drink coffee without milk, without sugar. All right, you'll reduce down your calories, your sugar intake. Hey, Farah, good morning. Right, then after lunch, you most probably have something lighter, half a portion of rice and 3-4 portions of vegetables. When we're talking about vegetables here, we're not talking about uncooked vegetables, because a lot of people say, hey, if I eat this amount of meat, can I eat this amount of uncooked vegetables after I cook this meat so much? You see, a lot of people like to eat carbohydrates. Why? Okay. Carbohydrates, if you think about it again, all your meal, carbohydrates are the one that is easiest to swallow, isn't it? Or your noodles, your rice. But when you ask you to eat vegetables, like, it's hard to swallow. So that's why generally people don't like it. It's more effort for you to chew before you swallow it. So people say, okay, let's slurp it in, and then carbohydrates is full of sugar. When it's full of sugar, it gives you a high, it makes you feel good. And then ultimately, but what the biggest problem here is that once you have too much sugar in your system, your body will look at, your pancreas will say, hey, there's so much sugar, let me pump in insulin to get rid of the sugar. And therefore, if you really remember back the times, do you normally feel sleepy after lunch? Now, people say, why are you sleepy after lunch? It's because of the amount of sugar that you have consumed. You're going to say, no, we don't take sugar. I don't take so much sugar. It's teh o kosong, black tea. But I say, how much rice have you eaten? Do you know that in one bowl of rice, white rice, nasi putih, is equivalent to 1.5 bowls of white sugar? The amount of sugar that goes into your system. And the best part is when I'm in training and development, right? So in the hotels, whenever people come in from a nice buffet lunch, they would definitely feel sleepy because they ate so much. So the body is just full of acid, and the body is trying to get rid of it. So what they do is like, I'm so sleepy, let me take up a sweet so I can perk myself up. I normally stop people, hey, don't do that. The more sweets you take, the more tired you become. All right, so they don't believe me. I say, if you need to take something, drink more water. Idea is drink water. 8 glasses of water, everyone knows that rule, but it's plain water we are referring to. Okay, 8 glasses of plain water, not teh or ice, not your tea, not your coffee, not your Nescafe. If it's not pure water, that's when it is. Yeah, someone, I love coffee too. I've got coffee right here, but it's black coffee. So the thing is, with black coffee, you need to drink even more water because why? Coffee are diuretics, and if it's diuretic, it will then get rid of water from your system, and in the long run, you get water retention. So always remember, if you don't want to retain water in your body unnecessarily, drink enough water. What is water retention? Very simple example I always give is that, do you notice that pregnant ladies, generally, depends on which trimester they are on, their faces can get a bit swollen and their arms and legs get a bit swollen. It's called water retention. So the key is the more water you drink, the less water your body will retain. All right, so the idea here is today, my friends, few tips. Number one, watch your sugar intake. Try to move everything black if possible. That means no sugar, no milk. Okay. Number two, start a day with a fiber drink before you have your nasi lemak. Cut down your portions, the lunch and dinner rice by half at least, or change it to quinoa or brown rice, because every single portion of a bowl of white rice will give you 1.5 bowls of sugar. Okay. Every 1 meat you eat, 4 portions of vegetables to be able to discharge it out. All right. So, hey Danish, just saw you there. All right. So the idea is watch it. Like whenever I eat, I love my kuahs. Right. When I eat my rendangs, I love it. But what I normally do right now is not to take up all the unnecessary gravy. If you put in the gravy, that's the one who will increase the amount of fats in our system as well. Fats are generally good if they are using pure animal fats. If you do research, pure animal fats are okay. That's why we say if consuming butter is good, but only this portion. Butter is only this size that is allowed. The amount of meat that you can have is only in the palm of your hands. Okay, vegetables is a whole hand. All right, it's the rule of thumb. And then if, of course, your carbohydrates is only this much, a small cup. That's the idea. Okay, so if you have your ratios right, manage your intakes, you will realize that automatically your body will go into the amount of calories that is required. So if the more actions that you do, and if you can have a calorie counter on your body or on your watch or whatever, then you know if you want to lose weight, it's very simple. It's always calorie deficit. That means if you need 3,000 calories, you have 2,500 calories every single day with some form of workouts, because the last thing you want is to lose your muscle mass. You want to just to lose fats and not muscle mass. All right, so what we're going to do is simple compounded exercises tomorrow that you can do day to day at home. All right, very simple one. So therefore you can keep yourself energized. All right, watch your meals, watch your sugar. You should be able to take it. So guys, try not to eat carbs at night. If you need to, eat early. Normally, I do not take dinner after 6. Okay, if you need to eat anything after 6 o'clock at night, if you're hungry, okay, then have a fruit or something. Of course, not if you are talking a fasting month. After you break your fast, all right, try to keep yourself hydrated a little bit more. All right, so till tomorrow, guys. Talk to you again, same time, same place. See you then. Bye.
Malaysia juga menghadapi cabaran yang agak getir. Kadar pengangguran di Malaysia adalah di paras 3.9%.
So, isu yang tak settle-settle di Malaysia lagi adalah pengangguran.
Pengangguran meningkat kepada 5.0% pada bulan April 2020.
Mustahil ke kalau kita nak lahirkan usahawan sebenar melalui pendidikan tinggi?
Kalau kita tengok artikel tentang situasi di Malaysia, ada 200,000 graduan yang tak ada kerja.
Disebabkan teknologi yang berubah, perubahan ekonomi, perubahan pemikiran generasi baru, education yang dulu tu mungkin tidak lagi bersesuaian.
Dan mengikut anjuran Jabatan Perangkaan Malaysia pada 14 Mei 2020, kadar pengangguran dijangka akan meningkat.
A marriage, perkahwinan antara traditional learning and kemahiran. Welcome to the revolution.